Hello everybody, and welcome to another review. I'm the Mounty Pony, and today I'm going to be reviewing Griffon The Brush Off. Considering this episode's mixed reception, how does my opinion fare? Let's find out. Griffon The Brush Off revolves around a new character, that being Gilda the Griffon, and her bullying pretty much everybody in the town. Especially Pinky, because Gilda thinks that Pinky's trying to steal Rainbow Dash away, and vice versa. By the end of the episode, Gilda leaves after Pinky decides to do something about it, and the episode ends. The plot's not bad on paper, but... well, you're gonna see why I said that. For the new character introduced, we got Gilda the Griffon, an old friend of Rainbow Dash's, which is nice. We don't really know much about Rainbow Dash's past, aside from her obsession to join the Wonderbolts, and that's really debatable if you want to call that a thing of the past. Unfortunately, Gilda has to be the most unlikable prick I've ever seen, and this is where I'm going to start tearing the episode apart. I've stated before that I don't like Pinky. Go back and watch the older reviews if you want to see examples of why I hate her, because if I were to do that, I'd be writing a novel here. But this episode didn't help, and for this episode's majority, we're supposed to feel sorry for her. I can't, and here's why. I don't hate Pinky because she's a comedian. I hate her because she's annoying. Jesus, tap dancing Celestia, she is annoying. I think the biggest example of this that makes me really hate her is almost halfway through the episode where she bitches that Gilda's doing all these pranks to people and they don't know their jokes. What were you doing in the first few minutes of the episode with Rainbow Dash again? I think based on their reactions, they didn't take the joke well either. So what, it's okay for Gilda to do it, but not you? What's another example of me hating Pinky? Her pranks. I hate them. They're stupid. I don't find the jokes funny, and yeah, I know, humor is subjective, blah blah blah. It just doesn't help. What's another problem with this? Gilda herself. I know I've already addressed her a little bit back when I was describing the new character, but I want to get into this very quickly. Okay, here's the problem. One of my biggest issues with Gilda is that she's a generic bully villain, and I know you may say, well, a lot of villains are like that, like take Biff from Back to the Future. How come we can like them but not Gilda? The problem with Gilda is that with characters like Biff, they have some form of a personality that separates them from a bully. I could see people liking Biff even though he's generic. I could see people liking Azula despite the fact she's crazy. But with Gilda, she doesn't really have much of another trait aside from her spitting out 90s references. Yeah, like we need a 90s kid. But Gilda doesn't have much of a personality. All she does, aside from spitting out those catchphrases I mentioned a minute ago, is her doing pranks. And they're not that funny either, by the way. I wish I could go on further, but Gilda doesn't have much of a character in this episode, so there's not much to talk about. And that's a problem. Seriously. Another problem is what Twilight does for most of the episode. When Pinky addresses her concerns, Twilight says, "Oh, she's not that bad." Basically, that's what she says. I'm thinking, Twilight, would you believe a stranger or your best friend? Jesus Christ, if I see Season 2, I wouldn't be surprised if Pinky didn't do much to help her in the fight against Discord. And the story is just bland. All we really get in this is just, hey, here's a new character, watch her do stuff that'll make you hate her. Yeah, I know I like using Gilda the Griffon in my videos sometimes, mainly my Ask Wave series on my other account. I only like it because of the design. Truth was, when I used it, I never saw the episode. Now I did. I like Griffon designs. But this episode doesn't help this belief. And Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm not going to waste any of you guys' time any further. I know some of you may think that I should hate Rainbow Dash more because of this episode. I can't. Because this wasn't mainly centered on her. It was mainly centered on Pinky and Gilda. So really, I have nothing further to say. It's settled. This episode just didn't do it for me. It's disappointing. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I'll see you guys next time. So that's really all I gotta say, guys.